Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of my podcast. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my sobriety. I know I haven't talked about it much on here. I mean, it's really only been 7 episodes, so we got thousands more to go, people. So there'll be plenty of sobriety talk. But I guess I just wanted to introduce my sobriety to you guys. And I think the reason that I want to do it is because I feel like I'm at a point right now that clinging to my sobriety is the first thing on my mind. It is number one. It is the linchpin of my day, the thing I need to focus on most. And I feel like sharing that with you guys, giving you a little bit of insight on that, is because sometimes your life, you have to rearrange it to make the thing that you want a priority. And the thing that you want isn't necessarily the thing that you're working towards. So let me explain. So, I've been sober since 2014. I've got 9 years under my belt. This year is my 10-year anniversary in November. And, honestly, even when I got sober, I just thought, you know what? I'm going to stop drinking and my life is going to get better. And that wasn't the case. That was absolutely not the case. I stopped drinking for 10 months and that was the worst 10 months of my life. Absolutely, positively could not function because, I couldn't hang out with friends. I was going to drink. Couldn't hang out with family. I was going to drink. I had destroyed all my relationships. And so I kind of just went to work and came home. Went to work and came home and repeat. And I say that to say this, is that right now, it kind of feels like that. It's I'm just going through the day to day, just trying to make it. And it's not necessarily that I want to drink. But when I sit down, it's oh man, I could just have a drink to relax. And, being an alcoholic, that one drink is never one drink, right? So right now, I have to put my sobriety above my family. I have to put it above my husband. I have to put it above my kids. I have to put it above my work. I have to put it above my fitness. If I'm saying that, that's how important it is. But, a lot of people wouldn't agree with that. A lot of people don't agree with, oh, you're putting yourself in front of your children. You're putting yourself in front of your husband, your family, your duties, your job, you're doing that's selfish. But I'm not putting me first. I'm really putting them first. When I was drinking, I could not maintain a relationship with a person. I was just not relationshipable. I couldn't be in a relationship. I was an angry, hateful, spiteful, vindictive person. I couldn't be a mother. I could not be present for my daughter. Work? I was a terrible employee. Terrible. Me putting my sobriety first is ensuring that I keep the capability of being a wife, of being a mom, of being an employee, of being a coach, of being a functioning human being. My sobriety is the linchpin to all of that. And if I do not have my physical, emotional, and spiritual sobriety in tip-top form, if I am not actively working on that, everything else goes to the wayside. Everything else just falls apart. And the reason that I say, sometimes people would think, oh, just work on your relationship and your relationship will get better. Oh, just work on your fitness and will get better. Work on this and it will get better. Work on this. And to some degree, you're right. You have to work on those things. But most of the time, there is an underlying issue that is preventing you from getting the relationship that you want, getting your dream job, getting the body that you want. There's something underneath there that is bubbling over, that is preventing you from being in that position. And for me, that's always first and foremost going to look like working on my sobriety. So for the past few days, I have been just burying myself in meetings. I've been calling and talking to people in the program. I've been reaching out. I've been doing these things that, were taught in the sobriety program that I'm in that shall not be named, because you're not supposed to name it because you don't want to be the face of that program. And, well, let's be real. If I do relapse, if that does ever happen, I never want to be the reason why somebody doesn't go because they're like, oh, you see, it didn't work for Andy. So I am literally just hanging on by a thread to the thing that is most important, to all the things that I absolutely want, because that's what I gotta do. I mean, call it mindset, call it therapy, call it shadow work, call it whatever you want. Because it's behind the scenes that everything needs to be correct in order for the rest of the show to run perfectly. I never want to be the person that I used to be again. I don't want to be that person. And to some degree, I want to still grow from who I am today. But going backwards is not an option. It's really hard to look at who I used to be, to examine it, to think about it, and think, oh my God, maybe that person still lives within me and is pulling the strings and is making me say things, making me think things, making me do things that I don't want to think, say, or do. Maybe there are things that are happening within me that are not necessarily tangible, that they are deep in the recesses and the corners of my mind. Like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to think about that. I just want to live. I just want to be normal, quote unquote. Oh my God. Why do I keep saying quote unquote? It sounds so stupid. So, my coach said to me the other day, yes, I have a coach. My coach said to me the other day, when you bump up against something that you don't want to do, that's probably the thing that you need to do. Let me say that again. If you're bumping up against something that you don't want to do, that's probably the thing that you need to do. And there's a lot that I don't want to do right now. There's a lot I need to get done, obviously. And just to clarify, there's things going on in my life that are really high pressure, high intensity things. And the fact that I can still slap a smile on my face is because I do all those things behind the scenes. Living life doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wallow in self-pity anymore. To me, it just feels great to be able to share that with you guys. This is the piece of my sobriety that I typically keep close at hand. I share that I am sober. I share when my sobriety date is. I share things like that on Instagram all the time. But this right here, this is like, I mean, it's just scratching the surface, but it's part of it. This is it. This is the stuff that I don't want to share. The vulnerability of my fears of relapsing. But hopefully I'm going to put in the work today and I'll get one more day. So with that, I'm going to wrap up, guys. Got to get to the gym. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.